Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott.
Welcome to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott.
Special thank you to our sponsors, the Gillette Home team of Keller Williams and Laura Gillette. For more information on their real estate services, go to teamgillette.com. And welcome to our new sponsor, Boson Hub. For all your digital marketing needs, whether it's SEO and content management or Google Ads, go to bosonhub.com.
Hey.
Woo-hoo! Good morning, D. Scott Smith. And
What
all
is
of you
going on?
watching, welcome to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. We are here ready to roll, right, Scott?
That's right. It's welcome to everyone live, anyone in replay, all the ships at sea, etc., etc. Russ Hedge, what is going on in the world? You got a class coming up.
I know. I think we got lots of ships at sea watching us too. I'm excited about that. I'd like to be on a cruise ship right now. That'd be great. So,
they're coming back, right? They're coming back. Cruise
There
ships.
you go. Yes, I have a workshop coming up today, everybody. Today, which is successfully transform your business in 3 simple steps at noon. Listen, I would love for you all that are watching right now or watching on replay whenever you're watching that if you sign up right now and put in the promo code free, you can come for free today. And I would love to get input, especially from those friends that are watching today. I'm always trying to be better. You will gain great value. I will gain value by you being there, and love to have you part of that today. So if you could, you can go directly to the ads. All the links will be in the comments as I am talking right now. So it'll be easy to get to. And appreciate that. What about you, Scott? What do you got coming up
Well,
this
as
week?
they say, free is a very good price.
That's right.
So, well, we've got the unscripted conversations at 9 a.m. with Christine A. Smith over on her LinkedIn channels.
You know her very well?
Yeah, absolutely. My beautiful wife, Christine, has unscripted conversations about the aspects of aging. She has some fabulous guests every week, 9 a.m. Go to her LinkedIn at Christine-Smith. You can find her there, or on YouTube at the Aging Better Network. So that's coming up at 9 a.m.
And Scott's excited about that. Can you tell?
Woo! Kirby made a early appearance today.
He did.
Yeah,
I
and
know.
then we've got the mastermind coming up at 10:30 Pacific time today. All about live video and how to use little recorded clips at the right moment.
That's right. Well, I know, because Scott's like, wait, stop with the Kermit. This is the
Yeah.
beautiful thing about this mastermind. Anybody who is
Mhm.
doing live streaming or not, just thought about it. This is a great community for you. Why? Because it is all about coming together, helping each other, no matter what stage of the process you're at. Live streaming is incredible, raises your visibility,
Mhm.
helps with you what you are all about, right? When we're talking about
Yeah.
your image and the things that you need to portray as far as yourself and your business, live streaming is great. That's why we're here with you today, right, Scott?
And I just want to let people know that not only is it great for your business to do live streaming, but if you're thinking about starting a side gig or adding something to your existing business, teaching people about live streaming is huge. There is so much need. I just came back from a family reunion and I'm talking to my family members, and a lot of them have businesses, and live streaming is not something that they're really aware of, let alone using. And so a lot of times, because of the community that we live in, like Carl Sean Watkins, hello, Carl, is there, and he's streaming and he's running multiple shows and he's working with all these great people who are running multiple shows. And it almost seems like, oh gosh, everybody knows how to do video and how important it is, but it's not. And so you can start your own business. And I'll tell you, one place to learn how to do that is in the mastermind today at 10:30.
That's right. That's right. And one last comment I'd like to make about that, and that is people don't realize what a low cost option that
Mhm.
is to help you with your branding. So, I
Right.
mean, Scott and I love this show because it's all about our amazing guests, but at the same
Oh, yes.
time, he and I are able to get ourselves out there as well and raise
Mhm.
our visibility in this process. So, yes, we can help you today. Come to the mastermind at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And I think with that, Scott, we should just get this party
Let's do it.
started. What you
Let's do
think?
it. Yeah,
Okay.
we've got Rick and Bob waiting in the wings, and we're covering an entire continent today. We are
There you
coast
go.
to coast.
So I grew up besides being from Oregon and being a Portland Trailblazer fan, of course. Back in the day, they were not quite as good when I was young, and I was a huge Boston fan, especially in the '80s
Mhm.
when Larry Bird was there and Magic
Oh,
Johnson
sure.
was at LA, and they're playing each other. I was a huge Boston fan. And speaking of Boston, our good friend Bob is here today from Boston, Mass. Here he comes.
Hey, hey,
Morning,
hey.
Bob.
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
I was blessed to my beautiful wife and I took our adult children and did a trip along the East Coast, and we ran from DC to Boston, and we were meeting friends along the way, and the friend that we were meeting in Boston ended up not being able to meet up, and so on our way to Boston, we're thinking on the trip, yeah, I don't know. I mean, is Boston just going to kind of be a waste? I mean, maybe I can see where the Celtics play, but what do we think? Well, I want to tell you, Boston was our favorite spot on the entire trip. And I mean that because we had very low expectations going in, and it blew our minds. It was amazing. It's so much history, but it's just an amazing place. So, how long have you lived there, Bob?
I've been here since 1989.
Hey, wow, that's a
So
few
it's
years.
so it's not where I'm from, but it's home,
Yeah.
right? Because
Oh,
I've
for
been here
sure.
of most of my pretty much my adult life. So
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
amazing. Well, listen, let's start off with you giving us a little snapshot. Who is Bob? What are you up to?
sure. So on the work side, I work for Bindable. I'm the project manager of tech initiatives. And Bindable, we are in the insurtech space. We're a technology company, and we provide the technology for our clients to offer alternate distribution for P&C insurance products. So we're doing the front end, building front ends for the clients. We also service that with our nationally licensed digital agency. So we have agents then servicing that front end to help clients get into insurance. We also have a platform that the agents use, that our agents use, but we also license that software to other agencies to then use our technology to run their agencies, and along with API. So that's kind of my work life. But prior to this, because I've only been at this company now for a little over a year and a half, I had over 30 years experience in the manufacturing world. and worked in client services, operations management, production control, a lot of years in finance and business analyst, and kind of ended up, as I learned all those things, in business system implementation. So really led a global team to do system implementation, specialized in ERP. So that was kind of my prior life to that. So had a lot of experience there, but have changed industries and learning a lot of new things here in insurance and then on the technology side, beyond the software side. So implementing software, helping my client implement our software. So kind of changing life. But here in Boston, I've been here since 1989. My wife moved here too in 89 too, but we didn't know each other then. We met each other in 95. We were set up on a blind date of all things. And here we are. Fast forward, been married, it'll be 23 years this year. We got married in 1999 and we partied as such during that time. And we're blessed to have a wonderful 16-year-old son who's a junior at Boston Latin.
Very
Well,
cool.
congratulations.
Great reference to a great song by Prince there, by the way.
I gotta do it. Gotta do it.
And, I was thinking, Bob, because you are such a great connector and you have really dove into the LinkedIn community and the online community. What really got you started with that part of it?
Yeah, no, it's been such a blessing. So, I've always been on LinkedIn and, always kind of dabbled and had a profile for many, many, many years. And every once in a while you get that hit, like somebody posted something and you maybe spend a half hour and you go through the news feed and you like some stuff and read some stuff here and there. And so I always enjoyed it and try to do a little work on my profile, but didn't pay a lot of attention to it. But in 2020, like a lot of people, I was unemployed. I became unemployed during COVID after, a really long, great career at a great company. But it was time for a change. So I was actually welcomed to the fact that I was no longer with that company and hired a job coach. And one of the things you do is you kind of, and so it literally been 30 years since I've been unemployed. I've been employed all that time.
Yeah.
And so the last time I looked for a job was when you had classified ads and you called people and you mailed things in the mail.
Your pen out and circle.
You waited. So of course I know that there's a new world out there and I'm not, I'm not stupid. I get it. But I was like, how do you go about this thing?
Bob,
so
I
really dug into LinkedIn and started to go ahead. Sorry, Scott.
I just want to say congratulations on hiring a coach.
Yeah.
Because so many people just think, I can do this on my own. And maybe so. But when you hire a professional, somebody who knows that thing that you're looking for, life is much better. Because you probably could have over time learned LinkedIn and done all the searching and found this great job that you're in, but it may have taken 2 or 5 years compared to the time that it took with your coach.
For sure. I want to jump in on that too and just say, yes. I mean, we all are better together and we need people who really know what's going on, especially this online community. And speaking of online community, I want to bring in our next guest to keep this party rolling. And Rick is with us. And Rick is here in Salem, Oregon with me.
Yeah,
good morning, Rick.
Hey, good morning. How's it going?
It's so good. Yeah, Rick and I
Life
were
is
actually
good.
able to meet in person through another contact we both have here in Salem. Found out we have a lot of people in common. Rick does a lot with social media and works with our friend Jake. And I noticed this morning that my friend Kara is here. And Rick may know Kara. Kara's here in Salem also, does social media, is great in what she does.
It's Casey Creative, right?
Yeah, Casey Creative. So Rick,
there we
give us
go.
a little snapshot on you and what you're up to.
Yeah, well, first off, I'm a husband and I am a dad of 4 kids. We just had our 4th and final. That's what we're calling it right now. And we are super thankful to have 2 different things that I've been working on. So the first thing is Saffeels social media. I work on online presence for small businesses and micro businesses and solopreneurs. So basically, if you are 12 employees or less in your business, I want to be able to help you grow. I know there's a lot of people out there that are looking for the large companies and the manufacturers and everyone else that is in that game. But for me, my heart is really helping local small businesses. And so as they're trying to get online for the first time for social media or looking to grow their business as a business coach, that's something that I've been doing as well. So I've kind of pivoted a lot as I've had a chance to be able to work these last 3 years in this space. And I've had an opportunity to learn how to build websites, be able to help grow online performance, whether it's Google ads or Facebook ads, and then being able to do photography and videography. And whatever I can't do, I find other local artists and local freelancers, and we work together to collaborate on a lot of different things.
You know, I've heard, Rick, that you are talented and a fantastic person.
Well,
I read that somewhere.
Well, he's got his fan club here today, and let me just tell you that the first time that Rick and I met, he was an amazing person, but also an amazing father, because he was able to carry on a great conversation and keep an eye on his kids and network with people all at the same time. So Rick, that alone was an awesome talent.
Well, I appreciate it. You know, it's come from years of being able to do a lot of different things. You know, I was a camp director when I was at Canyon View Camp. So I helped to wrangle about 100 to 350 kids at a time during the week to be able to help them. I was out there singing songs and dancing and doing skits. And then I moved into teaching full time. So I started doing that at Salem Academy, moved on to public schools and worked with Sweegle. And I've been working at Candelaria now for this fourth year now. So yeah, I teach full time as well. So I'm a 5th grade teacher.
5th grade?
Yep, 5th grade.
Wow, that's amazing. My wife is also part of the Salem Kaiser School District, is a librarian at Washington Elementary. So yeah, so a lot in common. So
we have a lot of teachers.
Scott.
That was my wife was a teacher, and I don't think that you ever was. It's always are. It's kind of like a Marine. Yeah. Once a teacher, always a teacher.
And it's true.
And her father was a 5th grade teacher as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, lifelong education is something that we try to promote a lot. Mm-hmm. But the thing that I've seen a lot transitioning in my jobs is that as I'm teaching full time with kids that are 9, 10, 11 years old, they grow up and they become whatever it is that they're wanting to do. And many of them, they go into the small businesses. They're looking for ways to grow in their finances. They're wanting to help raise a family. And so I really start that in 5th grade. You know, we work on economics. We teach on real life skills. And it's something that's a little different in my classroom, but it's a full blown government that I run here. And I'm the mayor and I'm the real estate agent. And I kind of work all these different things where they have those real life experiences. They learn how to get a paycheck and they pay their taxes. It's really great.
And the vice principal is the police force.
Yes, true. Yeah.
So, well, I tell you, go ahead, Scott.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that it is not an easy task being being in elementary school these days, and I am so thankful for all of the amazing people like you, Rick, that teach our kids, because I mean it's so important. I mean, the foundation of their lives is happening at that time. Mm-hmm. And I know that there's a lot of times when there might be struggles in families or other things, and they really cling on to their teachers and the people there when they need that extra support. So thank you for doing that.
Mm-hmm. And that's why when I meet teachers like Rick, I say, thank you, Rick, for protecting our future.
Yeah.
There you go. That's it. Well, and Bob, what elementary school do you teach at? You missed our discussion. Bob is not fully back yet. We have some technical difficulties going on there. I thought Bob was back, but maybe not.
It's a ghost Bob.
Okay. That's all right. Well, Bob, keep trying, and we'll get Bob in just a second. But, it is, again, something that, what I love, Rick, is that you have, you're reaching out and into this digital world, and Scott's really familiar with this because Scott deals with a lot of things like that as well. But what I love with the area of social media and all that is all of great people working together, because there's so many people out there that need help in that area. Kara does that. Scott does some of that. Actually, with my assistant, we do a little bit of that, but we're not trying to compete with each other. We're trying to help each other and build each other up. You and I talked, Eve, and I said, hey, you know what? that's not the main thing that I always do. And so you and I should be able to work together, and I, can refer some people your direction as well, because it's just about helping people, right?
Yeah. And the biggest thing is right now is, we have in just the Salem and the Willamette area, I started counting up, and there's more and more small businesses that are growing and coming in, and people are saying, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur. And the thing is that they either don't have the training to do both the business and to run the finances and to be able to go online and do everything at the same time. So they're just wearing a lot of hats. And so what I come in and provide is being a digital hat rack to be able to take off some of those hats and say, hey, you're busy running your business, trying to feed your family. Let me take something off of your load. And so even though, that's a service that I'm providing and there's a cost to that, it's something that they start saying, okay, I'm not having to pay for payroll. I'm not doing insurance. So this is a good opportunity for them to not have to be so creative. They don't have to put their mindset into, okay, now I have to go make an Instagram reel or a TikTok or a YouTube channel video. And those editing things that they would normally have to do, they can just throw over to us. So that's been something that is really helpful to a lot of small businesses that are wanting to have an online presence, but are trying to just manage their business and keep it afloat.
Mm-hmm. A lot of businesses hire interns and turn over all of their social media to an intern.
Yeah.
And yet, maybe that person, just because they're 20 or 20 something, doesn't necessarily mean they understand what marketing is or that marketing message. And they maybe not even just understand the tools. Again, just because they're a certain age doesn't mean they know what you need, what you can share, Rick.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. It's something that, I hired my nephew because he's younger than me and he has a pulse. And so what ends up happening is that you give all the command and all the control to somebody who's not a professional and not trained in that. And so, yeah.
Yeah, it's morning time, getting ready to go. What happens, we see this with the whole social media side, is what'll happen too is that companies will get very excited about it. And maybe one of the employees of those 12 or so, maybe it's the owner, maybe they hire somebody, or they have somebody who says, oh, I'm going to do this social media.
Yeah.
And so they get it set up, and then the luster wears off, and it turns out it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And the last picture they have was from their Christmas party of 2021.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
That is so true. That is so true. Bob, welcome back.
StreamYard and my computer had a little argument. I don't know what was going on, but I rebooted.
Yeah.
Well, what I think is the funniest thing, I love technical challenges because most of the time when we have the most experienced and knowledgeable people is when we have most of the technical issues. It's like they're muted, something happens, and it's like, yeah, you would think everybody knows what's going on. But I think with what we're talking about is staying updated and social media and technology and all that. I think you were talking about that too and referring to that, Bob, when it comes to looking for jobs or whatever you're trying to do communication wise.
Mm-hmm.
And you learned you had to come into the new century and really, utilize what was at your fingertips, right?
Right. Yeah. So again, hiring the job coach, I agree, Scott. I mean, it was critical because just having that professional support to really give you guidance and really help with strategies and kind of, fast forward your kind of what things are good and what things help. But LinkedIn was massive because I just started to meet people. Like that's the bottom line. It wasn't even about finding a job. It was about meeting people and connecting with people and finding these networks and finding, as Brian Scholl will say, finding your tribe, right? And finding, your vibe will attract your tribe, and trying to find the people that like-minded people and having those conversations. And through those conversations, starting to find, where do I fit and where do I want to be? And, trying to answer those questions, because I had been employed for a long time and found I didn't want to be in operations. And I said, I've done that for a while, and what do I want to do? And searching. But anyway, having those conversations started to open you up to different ideas and different thoughts, and then building that network to find those people and find more conversations and find more information. So even when I found a job, I stayed in because I was like, wow, this community is amazing. There's more here. That's not just about finding a job. It's been about finding those conversations and learning more and meeting people. And I think Gail was here, and we've said this too, is, digital friendships exist. They can exist. Russ and I are a perfect example. Like, we've had the conversations, but we're building a friendship. And yes, we've never been together physically. I know if we would, it'd be great. And I'm certainly would welcome being together physically and having that kind of conversation. But you can have conversations and have relationships and have digital friendships if you put the time into it, like anything else.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and Scott did an entire presentation in Dublin, Ireland on the scientific proof that you can create meaningful relationships online, right, Scott?
Yeah, it was back in 2016, and it was the psychology and physiology of relationships. Looking at the academic research proved that the relationships that we create digitally can be just as strong as those that you create face to face. And over the last 2.5 years, we've had a global laboratory that's proved that.
Yeah. Well, that's it. And I teach that all the time to people. I really try to hammer home in everything that I do. There's so many simple concepts in life, because really, let's face it, guys, life, how to make friends and get in touch with people. The idea is really very simple, but it's not easy. And that's why people don't do it. And so people need to be intentional, and they need to actually reach out to these online communities or their in-person communities. It just depends on your situation in life, because life does not stop when we have a worldwide pandemic. I, being a people person, dove headlong into, thanks to my good friend D. Scott Smith, dove headlong into a worldwide community that was amazing. And just like you're talking about, Bob, Scott and I are part of the Global Tea Break. And that is a global community, a global networking community that's amazing. I have amazing friends in that group, and it just went from there. And, just like you brought up, Bob, our mutual friend, Brian Schulman, Nancy Barrows, Tim Sohn. I mean, great friends that you can count on, friends that will do stuff for you. And I think that is important to remember, that we can develop those friendships. And yeah. And if you want to learn more about that today, shameless plug, come to my workshop today.
Like that guy there, David Chrysler.
Yes, David.
He and I are like brothers, right? In a way, we've had these amazing conversations over time in our network, and it's just been fantastic. And I know David and I would love to be together, but he's in the Midwest and I'm here. But I think that's the other thing about COVID was really a catalyst. Like, I think, to Scott, your point, this has been existing for a while, but COVID was really a catalyst to kind of, because we all got stuck. And all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can't just go see those people locally that I know, that kind of friend group you have. And you just kind of started finding these friends all over the world. And like you were saying, or Russ and I are saying, you meet all these people all over the world because you can. Because you can have the conversations, because we have this, and it's great.
In a lot of ways, COVID accelerated what was already happening.
Right.
People were already working from home. Now everyone got to work from home. We were using video communications. Now everybody knows about Zoom. So it just accelerated a lot of what was happening already.
Yeah, for sure. Rick, you were trying to say something.
I was just thinking about, I spent some time in Africa, and one of the biggest things is every place that I left, every village or every city or town, they were handing me their email or a 20-digit phone number that I'd have to call landline or something like that. And that was 2009. Okay. So from 2009 until 2019, in that 10 years, just the advancement that's been happening in technology. And I think that's what makes it difficult for a lot of small businesses right now as they're growing, is if they were a mom and pop mortar, brick and mortar, just on the shop, they were getting their advertising and they were doing everything, newspaper or billboards or having it on the back of the bus. And now they're getting into this digital age and they might be lost. And so what we were talking about earlier, you were saying it's difficult for some of these companies, unless they want to hire somebody in, they have these interns and different things like that. But your business and everyone else's business is too important to not hire a professional. And so that's what ends up happening. They hire somebody, they end up saying it's too much work, and it goes into that. So as they walk into this new digital age and everything's on their phone, people are consuming more and more. I mean, there's something like a statistic that went out that there's 6 billion messages that are going out every single day. It's just crazy, And so as we look at those different, statistics or how people are even getting to sift through that water, it's just a challenging thing for a lot of people.
It's
Yeah,
so much more efficient now too, because
Yeah.
15 years ago, to
Yeah.
build an e-commerce website,
Yeah.
it was probably $10,000 to $20,000 just to get started. Now you can set up a Shopify account and it's done, right?
Yeah.
But you still need to hire somebody who knows the messaging is going to actually do the day-to-day work that people, they just lose interest. And so getting in touch with Rick is a great way to maintain your business and keep up with the changing technologies.
Yeah.
For
And
sure.
I would
For
love
sure.
to continue to stay on. I know that you guys are going to keep on going, but I've got to go teach the next generation. So I
Well,
appreciate you guys being able to have me on here today, and look forward to hearing more about you guys.
hey, Rick, we're actually wrapping up. Before you go,
Oh,
give
okay.
us your last word and how people contact you before you leave for today.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many ways. I've been trying to hit up a lot of different avenues where people can find me, but I've got my website where people can kind of do a free audit on their own business through Donald Miller's Business Made Simple. And then you can book a call with me to say, hey, you know what? We don't have it together. So my website is saffeelssocial.online. And you're able to kind of see what your business is like and if you need some of those things. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, you name it. I'm on small things like Alignable and things like that, where small networking things are available. But yeah, the goal is, is you want to be able to be visible on whatever platforms your audience is going to be on, and really target that, have a sniper approach and not just shotgun and say, okay, I'm going to be on everything and then not touch some of them. So being able to stay relevant on all those things is pretty challenging. So that's why I'm here to help.
Hey, Rick, thank you so much for being here. You and I are going to have to definitely get back together for coffee when it works around your school schedule. So have a blessed day. Go teach those kids. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
See ya. So, Bob, we're going to shift to you next. Give us your last word and how people get in touch with you.
Well, again, my LinkedIn is probably one of the best places to get in touch with me. And of course, if you want to follow my cooking, you can go to my Instagram, because I always post about what I'm cooking and things like that. Kind of more the frivolous side of the fun side of life, so to speak. But yeah, happy to have people reach out. Again, this is what LinkedIn is all about. And I love the conversations, and I love connecting with people, and learning about what they're doing, and just kind of, again, building the network. Right, it's all about continuing to build the network, and it's all about the cycles. Right, when I was looking for a job, you're more of a taker, right? I'm really looking for people, looking for help and trying to reach out to people. But now that I'm actively employed at a great company and really loving what I'm doing there, I'm here to now help serve people and just be there as a resource and try to, just kind of build up that network and help other people and serve them, knowing that as you build a network, you never know, I might need somebody at some point in time, but you kind of putting those chits in, and sometime you might take them out. So it's okay to understand that too, is recognize that it's an ebb and flow. You don't feel like somebody gives something to you have to give right away. Sometimes it's okay, just take a little bit, and then eventually you might give a lot, and so that's okay.
So, cooking with Bob, we got that up here. So my question is, what's for dinner when I come to Boston, Bob?
You tell me. I cook, like my friend used to say, what's your favorite dish? I said, I cook everything. I've been cooking for 40 something plus years, 45 years. I've been cooking since I was a young child. So I have a pretty wide repertoire. So whatever you like, I'm happy to make it and make it happen. But I do dinner parties, 10-course tastings. I've got a wine cellar, so it'll be a lot of fun if you come over.
That's awesome. Well, our good friend David Chrysler, who's here today, you brought that up, and David is an amazing guy, amazing friend. He and I just really hit it off right off the bat. He's been on my show, and on this, I think he's been on this show too, hasn't he, Scott?
Yeah,
I think David was on the Experience.
Been a while, and
I can't remember how many shows he's been on, but David's been on a few times with me, and but I have an ongoing joke with him that's been going on in the comments here too, because I made comments about the manufacturing industry last time he was on, And I was complimenting him on how good he was, because I said, really, manufacturing is really kind of boring. So you make it seem interesting. And I did that on purpose. I had so much fun. And then I haven't heard the end of it, right? So now I'm always telling him how much. And by the way, David, I love manufacturing. All my manufacturing peeps, Inger, Gail, everybody out there, love you guys. Okay, bring it on in.
All right.
Boy, I talk about poking the monkey. It's like, ooh,
Yeah.
I know.
the
Well,
king
Bob,
of
listen.
the king of process, as we say, right?
That's it. Thanks for being here today. Appreciate you. We're gonna let you go, and but hang tight in the green room. We'll be right with you. Okay.
Great. Thanks so much for having me, guys. It's really a great pleasure.
Great to have you here today.
Thank you.
What fun.
Well, woo, good group. I'm telling
Rick
you.
and Cooking with Bob.
Yes, at Cooking with Bob. And thank you, David, that you know that I love manufacturing. Yes. It is, we are so blessed. I say it over and over, but I truly, truly mean it. We're so blessed with so many amazing friends, and, and even our great friends in manufacturing. We just love all of you being here with us. And those that we have on have, like Bob and Rick today, so much value. And whether it's local, like Rick's right here in our neck of the woods, or Bob on the entire other coast, or our friends like Inger and David that are in other states or other countries, people come together and we are better together, right, Scott?
That's the whole deal. We've got people from around the world that tune in either live or in replay. We love the interactions. I love the conversations that are going on. And we've got people like Inger who represent multiple countries. So if you look at her name, it's both Canada and South Africa. And when you connect up with somebody, you're not connecting up with that one person. You're also connecting into their network. And just by joining in with, say, Inger and her program on Friday mornings, you're going to connect to a wide world instantly.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and we just want to say a huge, huge thank you again. Don't forget, we're here on The Experience live with Russ and Scott every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Love being able to share these people with you. Before that, we are on 6:30 a.m. with our friend Shri out of Houston, Texas, on The Experience Backstage. That's our prep time, getting ready for The Experience. And then after The Experience, we have The Experience Mastermind, which is all around live streaming. So if you want to find out the value of live streaming, come on board. If you're a great live streamer already and you want to build good community like Bob was talking about, come on board. If you have never live streamed, but you've thought about it, come on board. We'd love to have you. 10:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. You can reach out to me at russedge.com, and there's information, or dscottsmith.com, and you can find out more about us. And at those russedge.com and dscottsmith.com, you can also just connect with us. And we would love to have a conversation. Right, Scott?
Absolutely. And if you do live video, but you're interested in adding a new revenue stream in teaching people how to do it, then join the mastermind, because we're going to talk about how to create a way to teach people so that they can use that in their business as well.
Right. And how to monetize your live stream and make money as you go. Thus, we have our wonderful sponsors who we want to thank again, Boson Hub, who is our newest sponsor, along with Laura Gillot and the Gillot Home team. And we just appreciate them so much, because they allow us to be able to do this every week with you, 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. We're here for you. Scott, any last words?
Well, I just want to echo that. Stephen over at Boson Hub is a fabulous person and does great work. You definitely want to connect up with him. I want to put out a special thanks to Laura and her team at the Gillot Home team, because they have been a faithful sponsor since day one. And we are now in season 4. So thank you to Laura and the team for that great faithfulness and support of the experience.
Yes,
that's exactly it.
So listen, we just want to say a huge thank you. And I just want to say that I saw Steven yesterday, in Boson Hub. What a great guy, helping me with a computer. Just love that guy. So thanks everybody for being here today. And don't forget, at noon Pacific Daylight Time, my workshop today, put in the promo code FREE. Love to have you. Even if you could only come for part of it, I'll send you the video copy. Love to have you involved in that and be able to teach you and get your input back for me. So thank you so much for that opportunity.
3 simple steps.
3 simple steps. That's it. And until we talk again, have a great day and a great life, and
enjoy the experience.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.